What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this is Empire Season 5, Episode 2, Pay for Their Presumptions. Now, I want to thank everybody that support my work at Patreon.com, because without your support, I wouldn't continue to do this work, as well as everybody that supports me at PayPal.com/Jaymoorereviews, and everybody that support me at Super Chat as well. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you enjoy the video, please click that like button. Now, when the episodes begin, we see Lucius, Lulu, and he's still right there in front of the casket, sitting down at the funeral. And then we see Big Mama come down, give him a hand, try to give him a shoulder to cry on. You know, she got shoulders like a linebacker, and so he's still crying. It didn't work, obviously. And so then it cuts to current time, 6 months ago, and we see Lucius and Cookie working with Treasure, and the beat's going great, and they all happy, and they saying, yeah, we getting ready to get you on the radio, you doing great. And she like, wait a minute, radio? They like, yeah, girl, this right here is a hit, but what we need to do first is get you a second hit, because the last thing you want is to have a hit on the radio and you don't have nothing to back it up. She like, wait a minute, but what about publicists and all of that stuff? They like, look, child, you right now are gonna get the full force of Empire Record. The Lion Family Records. They like, oh, okay, so she hyped up. Meanwhile, we see Giselle, and we see her with Becky, and they all hyped up, and she like, yeah, I got this new couch, girl, I'm about to go ahead, I gotta claim it. She like, for real? She like, yeah, this for my new office, I'm about to be the CEO, he gonna name it. And so then she go and talk to Kelly Patel, and she see her boo. She like, he must have flew in to congratulate me. And he like, look, you've been a great team player, Giselle, I couldn't thank you enough. And so then he calls everybody in for an announcement. So everybody gather around. He like, look, I want to announce the new CEO. And she thought he was gonna say her name, but instead he said her boo thing's name. And so she was a little pissed right now about that, because she felt blindsided, because she didn't expect them to name Kingsley as CEO. And Becky was upset, caught blindsided, and so was Giselle. They was ready to clap, they was ready to celebrate with their black girl magic, and it looked like they got blindsided, and so she was upset. And Kelly Patel like, thanks, you're a real team player, why don't you show him the ropes? Which is really a slap in the face, because he don't know what the hell he doing. And he gave her the look like, is everything cool? And she gave the little smile like, yeah, it's alright, team player, right? And so meanwhile, we see Hakeem chilling with his little ragtag bunch of crew, and he's sitting there trying to, keep his little six-pack on ice, and he getting his little drink on, sipping out the bottle, straight syrup sipping. And then we see Jamal's boo. He like, is this going to be the new normal? And so Jamal, he try to fight for his love, so he gets up and start trying to clean up. He see the guns on the floor. He like, come on, man, let's get these guns up. And so he like, come on, look, you guys, you can't be right here. Come on, get your feet off the couch. You, come on, what's so funny? You, come here, I'm gonna embarrass you. You, come here, get up. And so he trying to get Hakeem to get up. He like, you, come over here. Meanwhile, his little boo, Mr. Clean, is checking it out. And Hakeem, he ain't taking it serious. He like, come on, let's go to the guest room, y'all. Meanwhile, we see Giselle, and she's going straight Friday the 13th on that couch and stabbed him up multiple times like a homicide. Becky came in with a little drizzle. She like, oh, I was gonna have a drink. I thought it'd be tears, but never mind. She like, I don't cry at work. Becky like, okay, well, so what's up? She like, oh, I'm going to make them pay. And Kingsley, he messed up coming and stabbing me in the back. Kelly Patel, he messed up doing that. She like, all right, well, in the meantime, what's up with the couch? What you gonna do? What happened? And she like, give me the drink. And so she gave her the drink, and she next thing you know, starts sipping out the bottle. And Becky, that was like a little baby bottle. She mad. She like, that was a birthday present, but never mind. Anyway, she like, oh yeah, don't worry, I'ma fix them. They just don't know. So meanwhile, we see on the other side of town, Lucius is trying to get Treasure's music on the radio, and he's talking with Sway in the morning. And so Sway is asking him about personal life and things about Empire, and he's steadily trying to keep it on the subject of the music. And Lucius is looking at the producer and saying, like, expecting him to check Sway, and he didn't say anything. So Lucius like, okay. In his mind, he like, all right, well, look, here's how it is. I'm gonna keep it real. And so he started telling Little something. Sway like, it ain't real unless the streets say so. And they say you got played by Eddie Barker. He straight took your company from you. So what's up with that? And so Lucius, he all offended and getting mad, so he stepped forward off the mic, and Sway come right to him and meet him on the side. He like, hey man, you like that thing beating in your chest, bruh? And so Sway, he pretty much is threatening that, hey, you like your heart beating? You need to lay up off that interview and them questions. And so Sway they meet eye to eye, and he get the point. Then Lucius, after the interview, walk out. He like, what's up with this? It was supposed to be about the music, and what's with these questions? It's off limits. He like, man, nothing off limits. You need to give us some dirt. He like, I'm not giving dirt. It's about the music. You just missed out on breaking the next Whitney Houston. And then dude was sitting there looking. He like, yeah, I'm out of here. And so Lucius left. Meanwhile, he told Cookie what was happening. So Cookie, she all trying to go attack mode. She on Twitter tweeting and stuff, talking about more people reading this message than listening to your whack radio and this and that. Lucius laughing. He like, baby, calm down. She like, no, I ain't calming down. He just messed up. They should have played the music. They trying to get the dirt. And so next thing you know, she give him a kiss. Then he all surprised. He like, what's that for? She like, what? I need a reason to give you a kiss? And he starts smiling. He like, oh, okay, that's what's up. Well, how about this? And he tried to give her a kiss, but that breath was kind of hot. And so she like, no, not right now. You gotta go. And so she pretty much blocked him like Matumbo from that. And so he pretty much had to keep it stepping. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, later we see Cookie, and she's at the recording session for Treasure, and she ain't there. And we see Lil Rick Ross come talking about where she at. And so Treasure get a text saying she ain't gonna come, she had to work. And so Cookie frustrated, she like, look, she ain't coming. He like, all right, that's cool, I'm still put this on your bill. And so Cookie frustrated, she mad. Anorexic Rick Ross, he down to eating cereal. And so meanwhile, back at the prison in the pen, we see Andre eating, got his swole on and everything, eating bologna sandwiches. And so he's still trying to be the defender of this young boy. And so he see little youngster still getting picked on by this thug in prison. And so Andre, he about to get up and say something, but he got his boy there trying to calm him down, like, look man, you about to get out soon, you don't want to risk everything for some kid you don't know. And he like, look man, he innocent, you know his case, man, this ain't right. And so dude, little young Debo, he laughing it off, because he want to get some of that cornbread. Meanwhile, we see Cookie, and she waiting at Treasure's car, and we see Treasure coming out the little house, getting ready to go to work. And Cookie like, what's up, Treasure? One little setback, and that's it, you just run to your little day job? And she like, this ain't a day job, this is what I pay my bills with, Cookie, I have to work here. She like, look, I know you can do it, and people gonna say this or that, but you gotta believe in yourself. My father said this and that, and I wish he was there to see me make it. I believe in you, but you believe in yourself. Hit me up when you do. And she walked off. Meanwhile, Lucius still hustling for Treasure. He done found this radio station, and he wanted to play the music. They kind of eclectic. He gave him a little dap. She come with a little Malaikum Salam and all of that. So they like, yeah, but then they hit him where we can't play your music because we got a playlist. And so Lucius like, what? She like, yeah, I'm sorry. And he like, well, look, how about I give you an exclusive interview on The Star Is Born behind that song? And they like, you never did that before. And he like, I never will again. And so he's sitting there and they talking, they like it's a deal. And so he talking about the meaning behind the song, about his unborn first child. It was a girl, and what could have been if that baby would have made it. And so he was just saying what the reason was behind that. And so old girl was like, well, look, a deal's a deal. Tell us about your artist. He like, how about I let the music tell for it? And so they play the music and everybody is happy. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, we see Cookie and Lucius. They talking about the music is a hit all over. They going to meet Treasure for, lunch and talk about things. And they just all happy about the success, but their reservation ain't ready. They like, what's up? What's the problem? They like, well, it was changed under Miss Barker. They like, what? And so they go over there and see Giselle. They like, what the hell you doing here? And come to find out, she's sitting there with Treasure. She like, look, don't blame Treasure. I made her an offer she can't refuse. And she like, what? Treasure, you signed with these lowlifes? They don't know nothing about music. They gonna put you with a tech dude that don't know what he doing, and she don't either. And she like, look, this we can make this work. And she like, you shut up. I don't need to hear nothing from you. And she like, well, look, I didn't sign with them because of this. I needed the money. Making music in your living room was cute, but I need their resources. They can make me a star. Lucius like, hey, don't forget, we built Empire and we built stars, and we can tear you down from the sky. We're going to sue your ass. And then Giselle like, you really want that? We know you don't want to go through years of court litigation. It's something you can't afford. And Cookie like, what? She like, we could pay you a check. Cookie like, keep your check. And then she left up out of there, her and Lucius. And so meanwhile, we see Jamal, and he's singing in the living room talking about his love, and he's sitting there hitting high notes and everything, and busting out a nice little melody. Meanwhile, you got his little boo leaning around the corner of the wall sipping on a little rosé. And so they start holding hands or whatever, and Jamal like, look, I need to stay here with my family for like 3 months. He like, what about at New London? He like, we'll go back, but I want you to stay here with me. And he like, I hope you stay and you can work here too. And he like, okay. And so meanwhile, we see back in the pen, young Debo and everybody, they watch a TV. As soon as the guard leave up out of there, first thing he is he hopping on young boy's booty. And so he grab him up, hold him up against the wall. He about to beat him down, shake him up, whatever. And then here come Andre. Hey, what's up, man? Leave him alone. He like, man, this ain't your business. He like, look, that's right. Let's talk business then. He like, how about this? How about when I leave, I give you everything in my locker. Just leave him alone. He like, yeah. What? He like, yeah, I give you everything, even my burner phone. Young boy can't even believe that. He looking like, what? You doing all this for me? And so he like, look, man, just leave him alone. He like, all right, how about this? How about I take everything and your burner phone right now, and I still beat on dude. And Andre like, what? And then dude looking scared right there. And so that's starting to be a problem. Meanwhile, we see on the other side of town, Cookie and Lucius finally getting home. Her dogs is barking her feet. She kick them up. And so they sitting there talking about Treasure and everything, and how they gonna have to start over again, and how she, ain't nothing, how they Giselle, how they tried to pull it off. And then his phone ring. He like, that's my old office. She like, well, answer it. And so he picks up the phone and answer it, and it's Kingsley. He like, it's Kingsley. And he like, he wants to meet. And so she like, well, let's go ahead and meet. And so he says okay. So then we see the next day, they go to meet Kingsley at some, Greasy Spoon restaurant. And so Kingsley like, hey, I already ordered. And of course, it's some fried chicken. And he like, you forgot the watermelon. And Kingsley like, come on, man. And so they have a seat. And he like, she like, what you want? Trying to gloat over taking Treasure? He like, look, Giselle did that on her own. I'm not trying to be here for that. Eddie was wrong for cutting you out. He like, oh yeah, and so what you gonna do? He like, look, I'm not Eddie. I want to bring you guys back in. I can offer you a place in here. You can come back home. He like, what, is some ceremonial spot? He like, look, you come to a few events, you get paid, you get to be back around, be a part of it. You let me know. And so they think about it and they leave. Meanwhile, we see this dinner, this little lunch, and then we see all these people there. And of course, we see this young dude, white dude, looking like a little young Keanu Reeves. And then we see he's all smiles in front of Milk Dud, boyfriend of Jamal, and Jamal's mad. And so he's looking, and of course we see Becky there. And so she like, what's going on with this? He like, yeah, every time I see him smiling in his face, remember that he's his ex. And so dude is like, yeah, you haven't been able to work since Jamal domesticated you. He like, look, it's okay. And he like, I'm happy with my place here with Jamal. And so he like, oh man, well, you could be doing so much. We have a new shoot over such and such. And he like, oh man. Jamal like, yeah, that's a third world country. That's cool. He like, third world country? That's colonial. And then dude blocked. He like, don't ever talk to my man like that again. He like, I'm sorry. I'm just saying it would be great. It's a spot. You can come work with me. He like, oh yeah? He like, yeah. It'll be just like old times. Remember when we was on that mountain? Brokeback style. And Jamal ain't liking that. He like, oh, ain't no Brokeback Mountain 2 up in here. Meanwhile, at Empire, we see Hakeem. He come in with his all drunk, and he trying to say he want to see his kids. And so, of course, Tiana just so happened to be in the lobby. She sees it, and so he's like, man, where my kids? He tripping. I don't know why they won't let him in, but then he got a gun. He talking about move Waterhead, Milk Dud. And so then they see a gun on the side, and of course he mad because he done poked him in his head. He like, gun! And so they all rush Hakeem, try to yoke him up, try to hold him down. Hakeem try to tussle with him a little bit. That gun would have fell out of them loose jogging pants. And then Tiana like, leave him alone. And he tried to shake it off. He like, man, what's up? Get off me. What's up? She like, what's up? Are you drunk? He like, man, I just want to see my kids. And so he's screaming. She like, you need to go. You tripping. He's like, man, you tripping, man. She like, don't touch me. You need to go. And so he walk off, and she looking disappointed because he's going down with Spiral. Meanwhile, back in the pen, we see Andre, and he getting ready for war. He putting together his shank-proof vest, duct tape magazines together, and so he wrap it around, and we see Andre then begin swole off bread and water. He got big. He got the lion getting ready to roar like Ghost from Power. And so we see everybody watching the pen and TV, and they laughing, Debo having a little chuckle. And so then we see Andre walk in, mean mugging, and Debo like, man, why you keep looking at me? You got a problem? What, you gonna miss me when you gone or something? And so then Andre stepped to old boy, and then Debo bodyguard step, and then Andre still on him real quick. He fall out to the floor. Next thing you know, everybody start fighting inside. And then Debo get back up with his bodyguard, and his bodyguard tried to stab Andre, but Dre had the shank-proof vest, and they blocked it. And so he didn't know what was up, and right before he can decide what was due next, Andre straight stole on him and recircuited his jaw real quick to the point where dude fell off and hit that table. And as soon as he hit that table, he spilled Kool-Aid all on it, leaking all on it. And then the police came in, the guards, the COs, and they came in and put everybody on lockdown and pretty much took Andre away. But at least he had a smile on his face because he cold-cocked the old boy. Meanwhile, we see Cookie and Lulu, and they done came to meet up with Hakeem because he's sitting there getting drunk like Bobby Brown. And so they like, look, Tiana called us. You need to come home with us for a while. And he was like, man, I don't want to hear your lecture. She got up with the bottle. Boy, I'll bust your head. And Lucius stopped the Cookie don't play. She was going to crack him. And Lucius like, look, I understand what you're going through. I used to think am I going to be as good as my last album? People would always say, you're not good enough. And so I know what it's like and what you're going through. And he like, man, I don't know. And he like, look, come home. You can do it. We'll be there for you. And so he decided to come home, but first he got to grab that 357, and it was on the table. He made sure he didn't leave home without it. And so Cookie, she all upset. She like, you know what? Our family needs us. We gonna take that deal at Empire. And so next thing you know, we see that Jamal and Hakeem are at the dinner table. And so Jamal like, okay, you adjusted real well back being at home. He like, well, look, I'm gonna be here for a while to help out, so everything gonna be alright. And then next thing you know, we see Cookie and Lulu walk in. And so they all hot. She still ain't got the air conditioner fixed. And so they like, look, we want to tell y'all something. We want y'all to come with us to Empire. He like, man, we got a choice. And she like, nah, you ain't got no choice, boy. He like, well then, you know. And she like, look, we gonna take this job at Empire. And they like, you going back? They like, yeah, we going back, and I want y'all to come back with us as a family. So we see later that evening, they go into the party at Empire in the front of the lobby. And so they walk in, they see the new colors around and everything, and they're saying Empire welcomes the Lion family back. And they like, man, what's going on? This our new home, this Empire? And they see they chair in the case, and they like, man, we like relics around here or something, man. And Cookie like, that's alright as long as they cut the check. And so we see Jamal and his boo thing, and they all meet up, and he like, look, I'm going to stay, but I'm going to take the job with Keanu Reeves. He like, okay. And so we see Lucius meet up with Kingsley, and he like, enjoy your homecoming. And Lucius like, well, a few things just don't seem right. And he like, hey, look, you outgrown it. That's all. Now you can focus on your boys, where I can do all the babysitting here. You don't have to worry about that stuff. And Lucius like, babysitting? What do you mean, babysitting? When I started this company, I did it because I love those babies. And then we see Kingsley like, what? He like, yeah, I love those babies, and they're the bottom line, not them supporting your bottom line. He like, look, you're gonna go out there and do what I said with Sweet Cookie, or else I'm gonna announce that the Lions are broke and finished. And so then we see Treasure, and she's singing, performing, dancing and everything. So they got her all done up. You can see they done put a little money into her outfit. She got the crowd rocking, everybody all into it. And then we see Giselle, and she finally get to confront Kingsley. And he like, look, Giselle, we don't have to be enemies. It's a place for you here. She like, what? As one of your groupies? He like, no, as being my right hand. I want you to be here, and I want you to be here on my side, but it's up to you. You choose, you decide. And so she sat there, and she's still bitter, and she thinking about it. Meanwhile, Treasure, she rocking the crowd, got everybody bouncing, even got Becky over here happy. She got her bib still on. She didn't even take her bib off. And so we see Kingsley, and he's all happy with Treasure, celebrating her success and being the newest artist to Empire. And Becky and everybody's happy. He's announced Lucius to come, and then he gets the microphone, Lucius gold mic, and he holds it up, Lucius Lion, as if to come claim your mic. And it took him a while, but then he finally walked up, and so people didn't think he was gonna show for a second. And so he walks up there, grabs the mic, he thanks everybody. He like, look, I wouldn't be nothing without my family. Cookie, everybody, come on up here with me. Come on up, join me. And so they come on up. He like, look, let me be real with y'all. Everybody, have a seat. Go ahead, let's have a seat. Let's be real for a second. Let's talk. And so everybody look around for a minute. They all have a seat on the floor. And Lucius like, look, it's been rumors that the Lion family is broke. Well, this is the gospel truth. And everybody like, what? He like, yeah, we spent everything we had fighting to get Empire back, but that's over now. And Kingsley was looking worried for a second, and he like, it's over, and now we realize this isn't the place for us. It's old, a dinosaur. If you want people dancing in your videos, then you stay. But if you want somewhere where they care about you, you come with us. Then you call them babies, Kingsley. Well, they're not babies. And come to the new Lion family if you want to be down. And they walk off. And so Kingsley salty. He biting his teeth. He salty. Lucius then one-upped him and used that as a press conference basically, and took the mic. But then it fades, and then we see back to the current time period, and Lucius is still at the funeral, and they carrying out the casket, and he's still sad. He looking as the casket's carried away. We see Cosby Jr. Thirsty come up, and he like, hey man, you wanna ride? And he like, I'm gonna ride by myself. He like, alright, cool. And so right when he was leaving, the FBI walking in, Thirsty like, hold up, this is a funeral, can't the man grieve? And they like, yeah, but we need to talk to him. At the meanwhile, Lucius sitting there stone face. They like, yeah, we need to talk to you, this is very important. And so then they just show Lucius stone face, and he ain't said a word, ain't moved, and then it gets ready to cut off. But it's crazy that they're dragging out who's into this casket. And so I'm trying to think, who could it possibly be that made Lucius shed a tear? Now, I don't think it's Treasure. I don't think he would cry for Treasure. They showed Dubois saying that he need to feel, the lions need to feel what it's like to bury one of your own. So now I'm thinking maybe it is one of the three. And if it is, then most likely it may be Andre, because he's probably the one of the three characters of the Sons that they can do without. If they show it must go on, they could do without Andre the most. He doesn't sing or rap. He's not involved in a lot of stuff. And so I think he could easily be replaced by somebody else doing what he does on the show. And his wife in real life was Anika, and so she's off the show. He probably wants to be off the show to spend more time with her. So my guess is it's Andre, but we'll see. In the end, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my videos, please subscribe, hit that like button, and also catch me every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the Friday Fuss, where I do a live show where I talk about empire, power, TV shows, politics, and whatever else comes to mind. So please join me on Friday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.